Shalom, family. Glory be to God and blessed be the Lamb. Are you guys cold? Me personally, I'm a cold-natured person. I, I kind of love this kind of stuff. The, the colder and the wetter and the windier, the more I'm kind of like in my own zone. You wouldn't under, you wouldn't understand, but you do understand that the atmosphere, what you call the wind and the storms and the coldness, well, that's my first love. It is my first love. It has always been, for sure, it's my first love. And it shall be my last. I'm pretty damn sure of it. However, let's talk about sacrifice. Sacrifice. A lot of people get that mixed up. They think anything from getting angry to losing something that they didn't want to lose to giving something. Well, yes and no. And the size of the sacrifice matters. It matters. Some some people don't understand sacrifice at all. And because they don't understand sacrifice, then what happens is they don't have a value for it. They don't really understand it. They see it, but they see it as something else. An example of this, I play chess. I used to have a game on my laptop that was called Chess Master. Kapinski, I think, Chess Master. Kaspersky, at any rate, I always play the game on its top level, level 10, and I beat it. But hey, listen, I say that to make you feel some kind of way because in reality, it beat my ass at least 75 times before I beat it once. Okay, that's the reality of it. It had to have beaten me 75 times to me winning one. Now, to the game I won. For those of you who play chess, the board is laid out. I'm white. My first move is the pawn to the to 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 the furthest right edge of the board. I think that would be A2. But 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 we're gonna be using call letters like G5 and A3 because that's just gonna confuse folks who don't play chess. Okay. I started to push that pawn. He pushed the center pawn. I pushed that pawn again. It didn't react. It kept doing what it, it was doing. It was attacking from the middle using the 8 combination of the pawn and the bishop, and he freed up the knight. So finally, I opened up in the middle. I pushed the center pawn. He makes a move. It was an offhand move. It was meant to advance what it was doing. Which at this point, it is in full-fledged attack mode. This is it, this is level 10. So he binds me up for another 25 minutes or so, fighting off this initial onslaught. But it never paid any real mind to the pawn that I was pushing on the right-hand side. So when I pushed that pawn one more time, it was within striking distance. It has no other choice but to act because the next push, you're going to either have to take it with the knight, take it with the pawn. Either way, it's going to open up his whole left flank. And that's exactly what it did. In another 30 minutes, I had won my first game because the computer did not understand sacrifice. It had no algorithm to deal with what was going on with that undefended pawn. It was defended by the rook, which stands behind it. and it let it happen. Now, the very next game, I tried the same thing, and and I didn't win. It was a draw. It wasn't going forward at all by the third game. Okay, it had adjusted itself to the algorithms. However, sacrifice. Sometimes, if they've never seen it, then they don't know what they're looking at. They don't put the value on the pawn, not 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 recognizing its possible destructive nature. But the pawn will die, no doubt about it. The pawn will not be making it back home. Okay, sacrifice. But when it comes to human nature, even that is an issue. It's misunderstood. But I can tell you who doesn't misunderstand my sacrifice, and that's my enemy. He knows what sacrifice really is. God knows what sacrifice really is. They both they both understand exactly what is being sacrificed. They both understand exactly what's being sacrificed. And when the devil gets afraid of a right and proper sacrifice, every now and then he'll do things like your phone will ring. You see, this is the reality. Normally it wouldn't have upset me, but tonight it does not, because I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about not them like that, but this whole issue of sacrifice. Now, my enemy understands full well what this sacrifice means. My enemy understands that if he goes through with this sacrifice, we know from here on out it is gloves off. It's gloves off. Because not only is he looking at that sacrifice, he's looking at it generationally. He's also looking at it that you interfered with a bloodline that was better left untouched. So they know that they will have all kinds of issues, period. Period. So they would like, thank you, for this sacrifice to not be made. Weird, huh? You would think they wouldn't care. Oh, they do, but the motivation is all wrong. They only care in the end, all right? They only care in the end about their own hide. That's it. That's it. So when you sacrifice something, do it consciously. Do it consciously. Know its value. Know what you're giving up. And be ready to live with it. Live with it. But see, I'm learning that human nature does not allow that. It's almost anathema to the human nature. It is. They will. I mean, I've watched it in my lifetime. I've watched it in my lifetime. They have this narrative for each other, and then it's the only one they know, based on God knows what. And you must fit this narrative. You must walk this path. If you don't walk this path, something's wrong with you. Who would give that up? Who would never? What, dude? Yeah, what you want me to say? And what exactly do you want me to say? You asked me before in a mocking manner, defiant to the end. And what did I tell you then? I said to you, I thought every man was defiant to the end. This was my response. Yet you feigned surprise that I would make this choice. I would make the sacrifice. Do you have any idea how much I have sacrificed? Have you any idea the value of the things I have sacrificed? You don't. And what would be the meaning of me not making this sacrifice? Here's the real meaning. Here's the Here's the real meaning, you old sly devil. I would be stuck because every chapter has to end. Every chapter has to end, okay? Before you get to the next chapter. It's simple as that. If you say stuck in the old chapter and you have tried to write the characters in the next chapter, sometimes it's just impossible. It can't be done. There's simply no place in the next chapter for those characters. Think of it that way. Not only that, it is spiritual. What must be done must be done. I keep telling you, I have a boss. Have you not been listening? I have a boss. Now, the boss might say, well, that is a little steep. Nah, boss. Nah, it's not steep. It's not steep. We're not into nuances here. It needed to be done. It's just like that. And anything that needs to be done, it shall be done. Anything that gets in the way of the objective will be dealt with. What I mean is jettisoned like a torpedo from a submarine through the ocean at high speed, getting the fuck away from the submarine as fast as it can. Whether it blows up or not is irrelevant. Whether it hits its target or not is also irrelevant. The point of it is we want it out of here. There it goes. Not so human, not so human nature. You are indeed clingy, quite clingy, more clingy than I thought. I thought that I was dealing with spirits that knew what they wanted. Now I'm seeing that I'm dealing with a spirit. We want that part of it, but not that part of it. You trying to make us drink the whole bottle when we only desire half. No, you must drink the whole bottle. That's why we left it there. You don't get to just sip on it at your leisure. If you're gonna get drunk off the bottle of sin. Drink it. Drink it. And let us be done. And let the ripple effects be the ripple effects. And sometimes sacrifices and decisions have ripple effects. These include everything that came in that situation or came from that situation must go. That's how it is in my situation. There is no other alternative. It is either all or it is nothing. Not only that, Father already spoke, and I have a boss. So that's how it is. As I, as I stated, as I stated, at any rate, I said that I wasn't going to take up a lot of your time. But some things are worth sacrificing. Some things are worth never seeing or touching or having ever again. Okay? These aren't necessarily sacrifices for God. No, you should have these kind of sacrifices within your lives. So if you haven't sacrificed something or someone, normally I would take that back and call it a joke, but I don't mean sacrifice them in terms of magic and black magic and stuff, but you know what I mean. I'm not taking that one back. Then you should sacrifice something. Something in your life. Something. Trust me on this. God shines on it. But the whole point I'm trying to make is people don't recognize the gravity of the sacrifices that are made in one's life or one's lifetime, or the brutality of the decisions upon oneself. Yeah. To know that I know that once I make this decision, everything changes forever. And I have chosen to make this decision anyway it is the right thing to do, no matter who it hurts or how much it hurts. and be ready and be prepared to live with the results and the repercussions of that decision. That's not what I'm being met with. Not at all. I see it everywhere I go, at least in my life. Once you tell me some bullshit, then we're gonna let that bullshit shit stick. If I've already told you I don't like this and I don't like that, and you just keep doing it, I'm not gonna tell your ass I don't like it again. I'm gonna get the fuck away from you. I'm not gonna tell you anything. I'm gonna slowly put some distance between you and me. I don't care who you are or what you think you are to me. It doesn't matter because anything that gets in the way of the objective have to be dealt with. So small things like that quickly dealt with because I can't afford to have the extra baggage. Personally, it's my personal opinion, not necessarily God's. I cannot afford to deal with human dramatics, human drama. I mean, I'm just not prepared for it. I don't want to. And this is far too important for me to be dealing with this. So once a decision is made and I can get the fuck away from it and you gain peace and I gain peace, then let's call it a day and let's go back all the way back to the time for the day before we met. That one right there. That's the day right there. Go back to the day right before the day we met. There you go. There you go. Because that's where I'm going to go. At any rate, some will call that right, some will call that wrong. I beg your understanding and to see it from the lens that I am forced to look through. I simply don't have the time, and even if I did, I have a set of rules and boundaries that I live by that cannot and should not and shall not be broken, at least not by me. And if it hurts me to keep those rules in order and never broke, then it will hurt me. But I will still make that decision, guaranteed, 100% of the time. Again, if it's not in that Bible, I don't really care. I just don't. If it's not in there, it's kind of unimportant. I'm focused on my work at hand, not human drama created at the hands of spirits. I'll not be playing that game. And since I can't do what I really want to do in in regards to such said spirits, then I do the next best thing. By spirits, all seven of you, eight of you, and the possibilities of those spirits having other spirit babies, and then we should tell those babies before they're born. By, in fact, in about 10 years, if you work really hard, it never existed. That's if you work hard and really want what I want. Enjoy the rest of your night. I am Source. I am Seven. I am One.